Previously, we started talking about calories and classes of food that contribute to calories, and we spoke about carbohydrates. We spoke about carbohydrates consisting of sugar, starch, and fiber. Another form of nutrient that actually contributes to calories that we eat is fats. Fats have higher calories than carbohydrates and protein, and eating large amount of fat can lead to overweight and obesity. Fats help us to absorb vitamin A, D, E, and K. Fats serve as flavoring for our dishes. But eating certain types of fats can lead to clogging of blood vessels and then hereby lead to heart diseases. Fats are classified into three types. We have the unsaturated fats, saturated fats, and the trans fats. Saturated fats are fats that are solid in room temperature and they are unhealthy. They usually come from animal sources like milk, cheese, butter, poultry, and the likes. Few examples of foods that are high in saturated fats are coconut oil, butter, skins of chicken and turkey, lard, cheese, palm oil, chocolate, palm kernel oil. All these fats that are mostly solid at room temperature are saturated fats. The second type of fat is unsaturated fat, and they are classified into two. We have monounsaturated fats and polyunsaturated fats. These are the healthiest form of fat. They are liquid at room temperature and they mostly come from plants, and they are high in omega-3, which is good for heart health. Examples of monounsaturated fats are canola oil, olive oil, peanut butter, avocado, and nuts. The examples of cashew nuts, groundnuts, walnuts, pistachio nuts, almond nuts, they all fall under monounsaturated fats. Then examples of polyunsaturated fats, we have sunflower oil, safflower oil, soybean oil, corn oil, and fatty seafood. Now, the benefits of taking unsaturated fats is they reduce the risk of cardiovascular diseases and they help the development of the eye and the brain in infants. A very high source of omega-3 is cold water fishes like tuna, salmon, mackerel. They are very good sources of omega-3, even our nuts and avocado. And trans fats is the third class of fat, which should be limited or avoided because they are very dangerous. Taken in large quantity can cause harm to our body. And trans fats can be found in fried items and baked items. All these short crust pastry, we are not saying don't take them at all, but they should be taken in limited quantities. French fries, everything fried with, especially with saturated fats, like with saturated oils. If you must eat fries, at least let them be fried with unsaturated, either polyunsaturated or monounsaturated oils to help make them healthier. I further studied recommendations for fats in our diet, and I really don't have this one by heart, so I'm just going to read it from my notes. And the first one is, if you are 2 years and above, these are the recommendations for fats in your diet. Number one is limit the total fats you eat to 20 to 35% of your total calories. In my previous video, I spoke about calories where I introduced the topic calories. I made mention that a gram of fat contains 9 calories. So in your food collection, you should make sure that you keep your fat level between 20 to 35%, making up the calories. That means other classes of food should be a higher source of where your calories are coming from rather than fat. Another one is most fat should come from more foods high in polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fats. Like I mentioned earlier, unsaturated fats are the healthiest form of fats because they help in preventing cardiovascular diseases. They are high in omega-3 and they are not harmful to the body. The third one is limit saturated and trans fats in your diet, and that is the recommendation for fats in our diet. Then the last part of fat I studied is how to keep fat at an acceptable level, and I'm also going to read this from my notes. Use lean meat, that's remove fats from your beef or your meat cut, like remove the excess fat and use the part without the fat most of the time. and use low fat dairy products. Use liquid unsaturated vegetable oils like olive oil, canola oil, soybean oil, sunflower oil. Enjoy fish or beans as main dish, like eat more of fish and beans because they are high in omega-3. Watch portion sizes. Consume high fat foods in moderation. So if you're consuming foods that are high in fat, they should be consumed in little portions, not in massive portions. Bake, broil, steam and grill rather than frying. So when you're considering your cooking options, it's more advisable to eat baked food, not baked food containing trans fat. But like if you want to prepare your meat, rather than frying, if you can bake it, if you can grill it, it's healthier than actually frying. If you must fry, you can go for the healthy unsaturated oils. Eat plenty of fruits and vegetables and whole grains, the foods naturally low in fat and high in starch and fiber, because they will keep your cholesterol level low and in an acceptable level. Limit egg yolks, because egg yolks are very high in fat and they contribute a lot to calories and also to cholesterol, which we'll be talking about subsequently. Add flavor using herbs and spices instead of fat. We chefs most especially love to use flavor or harness flavor from fat, but they are advising us to use more of herbs and spices rather than fats, because they build up to unhealthy things or nutrients or calories or cholesterol levels in our body. So we were also taught not to label food as good or bad, not to make people's conscience feel like they're eating bad or eating good. Food is just food. To maintain a better health from your diet, you should learn to cut out some things. Like some things should be eaten in moderation and some things should be eaten more regularly. Thank you for watching today's episode. I'll see you in our next one.